Hi guys, I hope you're well. So I wanted to quickly share a message with you guys, which I felt like even after a week is still ministering to me. And even this morning, it just popped into my head to just share this with you guys, and I hope it blesses someone. So a week ago, actually, just a week ago, I woke up with a song in my head, and the thing is, I've not heard this song before. In a lot, actually, I've not heard this version. I've not actually ever listened to this version of the song, and it's not like I was listening to this. I can't even remember the last time I heard the song. But I woke up with the song. So this happens to me every now and then. So I woke up with that song. It was just ringing in my head. So at the moment I started my quiet time, that was the song I was playing. I had to put that song because every time that happens, I need to play the song. I just have to. So I started playing the song, and the more I kept listening to the song, the more it kept ministering to me. The more I kept feeling it, and there was the part where I could resonate with, where the singer was sharing a testimony. So the song is "In the Room" by Mavis City, but this is the one with Tasha Cobbs. I don't know if there's another version, but I know this is the one with Tasha Cobbs. And I was listening to the song about in the room, in the room. No, he's in the room. And even every lyrics was just every word was ministering to me. And then when it got to the part where Tasha Cobbs was sharing her story, her testimony about how she used to minister when she would go to minister in 2012, and by the time and she would see people get healed, people get delivered, but by the time she get back home, she's depressed, she's feeling depressed, feeling rejected, she's in the dark, close the curtains in her room and other stuff. I'm sure we're all familiar with the song, so I won't say too much about that part, but that part really stood out to me, because it was something. I mean, a part of that story was something that I could resonate with, I could relate to. I was listening to that song, and the Lord began to minister to me as well, and about being in the room. So I remember back earlier this year when we were having a group prayer meeting. There was that revelation that we had once. I mean, I believe it was a dream initially I had where, God was telling me, was showing me there was a group of, we were actually in the meeting, and then it's very interesting how that happened. But we're actually in that meeting. There's only a very small group of us. We're in the meeting, and then someone came on, because it was an online meeting. Then someone came online in that meeting, and then I kept wondering, who is this person? Because this is someone that I don't know, and I kept wondering, who is this person? I could see the person online, but I just didn't know who the person was. And I kept wondering to myself, that who is this person that's just joined us? Who is this person? And I woke up. I don't know if I can't remember if I woke up or it was in the dream. God was saying, I am the person. I am the person. I was like, okay. It was interesting. And then I think it was the following day, we had a meeting, and then one of us was talking about how he was praying to God about how God could be the fourth person. I think she was reading the story about the Hebrew boys. And you remember the Hebrew boys was part of that song, where she said that God could be the fourth person amongst us or something in our meeting. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, because I had a dream, And then I also shared that revelation with the rest of the group. And then the funny thing was that the day after, a few days after, I think it was a couple of days after, that actual dream I had actually happened. Could not believe it. So we were in the meeting, and I think at this point we were feeling. I personally was feeling, wow, God is here. God is here. He has confirmed Himself, and ever since then, I feel like I always like to. So every time we have a meeting, I have to compose myself, like, oh my God, Jesus is here. We need to compose ourselves. Let's be respectful, just to acknowledge that He's here. Anyway, so there was now the same week. I believe it was the same week we were having the same meeting, and then there was only 5 of us in that meeting, online meeting, and lo and behold, as we were just going on, I just saw 6 people. The thing was saying 6. And I kept looking at, okay, it's going to go off. But it was still saying 6 throughout that meeting. It was saying, I think I noticed when we were doing praise and worship, when we were at the start, and throughout that meeting, that thing kept saying 6 people when it was just 5 of us. I could not believe it. And that has never, ever, I've been using that app for over a year. And even after that, it never happened again. And I knew then that was God showing himself. So back to the song. So when I was listening to the song and that song was ministering me, God reminded me of that event, that thing that happened that day. And he said, I was there showing myself to you that I was in the room, that I am in the room. And believe you me, ever since I knew that, I've been, like very convinced that every time we have a meeting, despite the fact that we're online, I'm always like, he is here. He is here. So you have to, acknowledge that he's here, be serious, and whatever you're doing, don't be distracted. Kind of in that God is here with us, Jesus is here with us. And I always imagine him just walking into the room where I am and just being with us, sitting next to me or something, honestly. So God reminded me that day after listening to that song that I showed myself to you. I told you, like, I am here. And you forgot. And lo and behold, a few months down the line, I forgot. I not necessarily forgot, but I just never took so much value into it as well. And it was trying to remind me of my prayer time. Sometimes I don't know, I feel like I was getting that, my quiet time with him. I feel like I was getting that, I would say, fatigue sometimes when of course, I wake up so early. Sometimes I just like, just a few minutes. And I always want to die, or sometimes I'll just kind of go back to bed. Normally, before I would have just woke, as soon as my alarm goes, I'm up and I'm there, rushing to my room to pray. But this time around, so I think in the past few weeks, I've just been feeling, I guess the fatigue is the word. And then the Lord just reminded me that I am in the room. Like the moment, because I remembered, a couple of years back, God told me this time that I wake up that this is our time. And when I heard that time, I did not believe it, because I'm usually someone that, sleeps late. I prefer doing late to the night, or I don't know how to say it. Yeah. But I'm not the person that I'm more of a night owl, okay, you see? So I rather do late into the night than late into the next morning, even if I have to. But me going and waking up very early was not my forte as such. I mean, sometimes I do, but it wasn't something I took like, this is it for me, this is what I'll be doing. I took seriously. And a lot of the time I would wake up early, pray, blah, blah, and do many things. But wasn't something I took seriously. I rather do late to the night, that kind of a thing. But then that day I heard that word, this is our time. And I thought, I laughed because I'm like, me, like, I didn't take it seriously because I thought, I don't know where that came from, but no, I didn't take it seriously. But anyway, long story short, God reminded me that I told you that this was our time. That is like literally the moment that time clocks is already here waiting for me. He's in the room. And as the more I kept hearing that word, he's in the room, it began to minister more to me that he's here, he's right there with you. It doesn't matter what you're going through, he is right there with you. He's in that room. When you think you're the only one, when you feel lonely, when you feel dejected, he is right there with you. He is right there with you. Even in your morning, your prayer time, he's right there waiting to hear you, waiting to speak to you, waiting to communicate with you. And it just reminded me of God's love. How he loves us so much, that he cares so much that he will go out of his way to be there waiting for us. When it's time for us to have that quiet time, Jesus is already walked in the room and he's just sat there. That's how I imagine him. He's just sat there waiting to hear from me, waiting to hear what I've got to say. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, he just wants to hear me talk. He's waiting for me. Oh, and then right there in that room where you are, no matter where you are, washing the dishes, going on, whatever it is you're doing in your house or wherever you are, he is in the room. He is there. And I'm reminded of the story of the boat. Where the disciples were in the boat and the boat was shaking. Where was Jesus? Right in there. But what happened? They were all shaking, but they did not acknowledge that until they acknowledged that, wait a minute, Jesus is right here in the boat with me, with us. What are we doing? Let's go wake him up. That was when peace happened. So what it's saying is that he's there. Even in that trouble, He is there. You just need to acknowledge Him. Acknowledge that He is the Prince of Peace. Even in that boat, in that trouble you are going to, He is right there. When you feel dejected, when you feel alone, when you feel like nobody cares, He is there. He is in the room. And I want to urge us, I want to encourage us, because that really meant so much to me. God reminding me that He is there. And I just always reminding Jesus every time I have my prayer. Just imagine Jesus walking in the room, waiting. I would imagine just sitting down there already waiting to hear from me. And I want to encourage us today. He's in the room. He is in the room. Be encouraged. He is right there with you. So what are you going through? What are you facing? Know that He is right there. Just acknowledge Him. Acknowledge Him. Talk to Him like you're talking to you. He's a friend. He's a present help in time of need. He's right there. Talk to Him. He's right there. And also it's a reminder that when you're having those meetings and you think no one is there, prayer meeting, online prayer meeting, and you think no one is there, He is there. He is in the room. I just wanted to remind us today, because this really ministered to me, and I hope it ministers to you. And I hope and I pray, after that event, encounter or that revelation, I just prayed for the Holy Spirit to remind that let me live daily with this consciousness. I want to live daily in this consciousness that He's in the room. That it doesn't matter what it is, no matter how small or how big it is, He is right there. He is right there next to you, waiting to hear from you, who wants to talk to you. He is in the room. And I have been praying to the Holy Spirit that let me forever, for the rest of my life, live with that consciousness that He is in the room. Mind you, Him being in that boat doesn't mean there won't be trouble, but know that He is there. I pray that you will always live as a child of God with this I pray that you will always live with that consciousness for the rest of your life, because that is my prayer. To always remember that He loves me so much, that He is right there. He is in the room. He is in the room, and He cares so much for you. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you've been inspired by this. And I also want to just, to just invite you especially to this event. The Becoming a Woman Conference is going to be an online event virtually, and it's going to be streaming here live. And the theme is grace. We're going to have speakers. One of my favorite part of this whole conference, is the discussion where we talk about issues about women, issues that women face, and in relation to our theme. And the theme is grace. We are looking at the story of Mary. Just interesting this morning as well. Mary crossed my mind as well. I came across in my quiet time. Something about Mary crossed my mind, and I'm going to have a couple of people join me, and we just discuss and talk about very interesting. That this is our 5th year running. I cannot believe it, and I just want to give God all the glory. I am looking forward to it, and I'm particularly looking forward to you joining me. So I'll put the Eventbrite link in the description bar below, so in the description box below. So I hope you would register, and I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. So please subscribe so you'll be updated with the new videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.